Hi. I have not been able to get this together. My mind is like all over the place these days. Last week and a half, they say that this process will be confusing, mentally confusing. You drop or fall into a sense of mental confusion sometimes. That may have been what's happening, but my mind has just been gone. I swear to God. I tried to do this a few days ago, just off the cuff. Just okay. I want to do it. This is a review. Okay, this is the first of probably two parts. I just said, just start doing it, because you should know enough by now to do a nice flowing review. And I couldn't do it. I swear to God, I couldn't do it. I have bullet points here in front of me. That's how I do it so far. And one day I will. Paramahansa Yogananda, going to a talk he was going to give in a hall, 5,000 people, maybe more, wouldn't know what he was going to talk about until the very last second. He would go, now, see, what should I talk about today? Because it was a flow. He would step into the flow, and everything, the universe would work through. And he didn't prepare anything, and that's how I know a fairy who can do that, and she's very, very good at that. And I'm really lousy at it, but I just found that out. But I will be good at it one day. But that day isn't this day. Okay, here we go. This is a review. Okay, quickly now. I'm a cosmic messenger. Okay, I know that I'm a cosmic messenger because some time ago I went to a guy named Jack Schwartz. His thing, and he was famous. It took me a year and a half to get in to see this guy. You'd go in. He was a sensitive. He would read your aura, and he would tell you about yourself based on that reading. Okay, and he said, Jeff, you're a cosmic messenger. You ever felt like you have a message for the world? I mean, you have that because it's true. You do. So, and he said, I'm a cosmic architect too. We'll talk about that later. But that's how I know, and I know other ways too, that sensibilities that would dictate that. So I have come to Earth to deliver a message. In this case, there are other messages, but it's a heart-centered message in this case. That living in the head is a lousy place to be, and we're going to move to the heart and make a much, much better, more lush, more sensuous, more textuous personal reality, personal moment. Okay, that's what we're doing here. Here we go. I've never, as a cosmic messenger, I've never liked living on Earth. I've never liked living on Earth. I never liked being a prisoner of the mind. Okay, I thought it was a lousy place to be, and I just couldn't wait to get out of it, really. I felt like a zombie walking around pretending I was alive. Okay, that was basically it. I was a dead man, nothing more than a dead man walking around with dead moments, old dead moments, nothing lively, no life, no, nothing that I want to take home, nothing that, it's just been quite awful in that sense. I have found human consciousness unacceptable and intolerable, okay? And we are going to get rid of it. Okay, it is no longer, the consciousness most of us are infected with these days is no longer worthy of us. Okay, we are much, much greater than the consciousness we've been stuck with, and it is really no longer worthy of us. Okay, and it needs to be changed, and this is a channel in which we are going to change it. I found, so I fell into a deep hole in that sense, worse than you guys. Okay, there's a combination of reasons why, and I felt like I could never get out. I felt as though I had lost this lifetime. The game of this lifetime was over, and I lost. Earth won, Jeff 0, and I'm getting out of here. Okay, that's basically what it was. Another thing, I felt like Humpty Dumpty. I felt like I had fallen and broken into a million pieces, and all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty back together again. Okay, that's what it was like. It was like the game over. It really was, and I wanted out. I conceded the loss. I said, look, fine, I've lost. I know that I've lost, and I want to gracefully exit and get to see what the hell happened and try this at some other point. Lost a sense of friendship. Okay, I couldn't feel friendship anymore. Okay, let alone deep love for somebody, but friendship. Things like that, human things, my humanness. I felt like a robot, and my sense of humanness left, and I felt like a robot zombie walking around pretending I was alive. Okay, and that's not what God intended. That's not what I want. That's what none of us wants. But you guys all have that to the same degree. I can see it in your faces when I walk around. But I've had it worse than you. Okay, it was more stark in my case. I had to handle life then from that broken down place. Okay, from that awful constricted, arid, dry place. I had to try to go out there. Now, I walked out of the house when I was 18. Me and my dad didn't get along, and I didn't have anything. Not a damn thing. A car. That was it. And I set up shop in an apartment. You can do that now. You could do that then. You couldn't do that now. Here in Silicon Valley, $2,500 for a one-bedroom apartment. That's medium. They go up to $3,000. You really couldn't do that at this point, but back then you could do that. And that's what I did. my voice is constricted. So that's what I did. So I began to think, okay, now that I've given this up, and I did give it up. I said, that's it. What do I do now? Because I wasn't going to kill myself. I thought about it, but I wasn't going to kill myself. I just couldn't pull the trigger. Basically, I kind of planned it, but it wasn't going to happen. So I began to think, okay, then what do I do now? I'm going to, to live this out, in some small way, and I can't wait till I die, basically. So I thought, okay, what I'm going to do is prepare for next lifetime, okay? Because I never want to go through what I went through again, all right? Once is enough, and it was just a torturous tearing of the way that I'd never, there's no reason for me to ever have to experience that again. Once is enough. So I began to prepare for next lifetime, okay? I began to meditate. I began to eat fantastic. I eat fantastic food. I'll explain that some other time too. Eat fantastic food. I learned Sudarshan Kriya. I learned Paramahansa Yogananda's energization exercises. Stretch, exercise, all these things. I've always been a good exerciser, but began to prepare for next lifetime. And what I did in conjunction with each other was I would get up in the morning, stretch 15-20 minutes, and stretching is very, very powerful. It is, out of all the things I'm going to tell you I've just done, stretching was high among sometimes the stretching would stand out, but stretching every morning is a very, very good thing to do. And I do it with no sense of effort. Okay, that's hard to do. I just stretch for 25 minutes. That's hard to do. How do you, it's not hard, okay, because I fall back into it. As I fall back into it, okay, and relax, staying in each breath, staying in each moment. There's no real sense of effort in doing it. So I began to prepare for next lifetime, okay? And I would get up in the morning, I would stretch 15-20 minutes, meditate for an hour, go down to the local pool, swim a killer, intense workout, 35 minutes. I'm a pro swimmer. I'd go up to the lake, Los Gatos Reservoir above Los Gatos. I would do Paramahansa Yogananda's energization exercises, go down, do Sudarshan Kriya, the breathing exercises I taught you guys, and then meditate one final time. And after that regimen, I began to notice two things. Number one, it did affect my consciousness. It got me to a place where I was okay with that, where my head was, or more precisely, where my energy was. My energy was in an expanded state, really out of my head, and that was, it was, I noticed it, and it was something that I wanted more of, and it wasn't fantastic, but it was not a bad place to be. The pain was gone. Okay, the pain was gone. That was another thing. Pain, day in and day out of searing pain, one way or the other, and man alive, just man alive. Those are the two things. The other thing I learned was this. What I started to stumble across was a sense of non-effort. Each of those steps created energy for myself, and I got into a non-effortful place. And that's what I began to think, a lot of these people I come across in these classes I've taken don't do the stuff in a formidable way. They do it kind of they're a little pissy, a little moany about it. It feels like effort, apparently. And I found that as I did these things, I stumbled across non-effort, especially the Sudarshan Kriya, okay? Because the breathing itself, as you move through that exercise, the breathing itself increases a sense of inner spaciousness. It increases a sense of stillness. It increases the sense of presence. And as I learned to stay there, stay in that breath, stay in that moment, I began to go through that exercise in a non-effortful way. Okay, I did it 90 days in a row, and I broke the back of the tendency to want to resist those exercises. All right, and it was an enlightening process to be able to do that. So I don't want life to be hard anymore. I've had enough hardness. Okay. And as we move forward, we're going to get rid of the hardness, okay? I don't mind intensely working at things or that, but I don't want anything hard anymore, okay? Forget it. That hard, that's just all there is, that hardness, Forget about it. I've had enough of that. We are moving into a softer effort, a wonderful way of doing things that isn't a hard way of doing things. We don't want to be bloody hard about this. We want to be bloody fun about this. And that's what I have come to, and I'm going to try to teach you that, where it's nothing's really particularly hard. You step in a flow, and you stay in each breath, and you stay in each moment, and it's not hard to do these things anymore. It's sort of a sense of pleasure doing these things now. I've taken LSD and magic mushrooms, okay, a couple other types of psychedelics, and I tripped over two things. Unity consciousness. Okay, I tripped over unity consciousness on one trip, where I felt that we were all definitely one unit. We are all singular units in the same body of God. We are all one unit. Okay, I saw it way back then. I didn't know what to name it, but it was unity consciousness. It was fifth dimensional consciousness. Okay, we all are headed to the fifth dimension here on earth, and it's going to be centered on unity, heart-centered consciousness, okay? And it's going to be a lot different than what we're experiencing in this third dimensional world. The 5D world is the preferred level of consciousness in the galaxy and other galaxies as well. It's not so bloody difficult as the 3D world. And it's not so easy as you get up in the other dimensions. You can just create stuff just by thinking about it. There it is, right in front of you. So it gets easy, but it's so easy that you can't learn, you can't develop character, basically. That's the preferred level, dimension, the fifth dimension, throughout the galaxy and throughout the galaxies also. And that's what we're headed for. I also tripped over heart-centeredness too. I was at a party. I had taken mescaline, supposedly, and I had tripped over heart-centered consciousness, where all of a sudden I flipped into my heart, and I felt as though I was perceiving life from this heart chakra, and I found myself being a mitigator. The parents at the party were upset, that, typical stuff. Teenagers who are being teenagers, kind of rude and silly and doing stupid things and inconsiderate. And the parents were, a little. I could tell that they were a little. I don't know why the parents were even there, but they were a little bit jostled by that reality. And so I saw myself as a facilitator, trying to keep kids in line, trying to talk to the parents and make them feel more welcome in their own home, basically. And it was the home of a very, very, very pretty cheerleader at the time, so that helped too. Head cheerleader, I think she was, but one of those deals. And it was that sort of thing where you are secure and you are fearless. and you are focused outward now, and you want to be of help to everybody. Those are I've experienced those two things. I experienced heart-centeredness on other mushroom trips also, whereas you felt as though you were perceiving life. What happens is, as you drop through that center, a heart center, and you begin to live life from there, and you begin to increase that heart resonance, the cells of the body begin to increase to match that new resonance. So you begin to your whole body, and you begin to apprehend reality with your whole body and your heart center, okay, which is a vibrant place to be. That's what happened to me. And so your whole body then is a perceptive mechanism in the moment, and it's alive, and it's beautiful, and it's a lot better than processing the moment through your dead mind. Okay, and so we're going after that. That was so nice, and you hear little hints of it through some of the galactic messages. It was so nice that I'm going, hey, I'm taking this to the bank, and that's what we're doing here. We're going to get to the heart-centered consciousness. Okay, we're going to drop from the head, demagnetize the head, and drop to the heart, magnetize the heart, and let that consciousness slip down there. And we're going to become a heart-centered being first, a psychological ego mind second. All right, that's what we're going to do here. This is a review once again. We live right now. What basically what we're faced with is this third dimensional illusion. Is an illusion basically, and we're hypnotized to this illusion, which is almost meaningless in and of itself, and we begin to develop and create all these ego-backed delusions about what mean things mean, and that's basically, as well as other things. The other third step, or other third leg in that, is issues we have gathered along the way in previous lifetimes, even too, that are inflicting and impinging on our sense of reality these days. They're buried deep in our subconscious, they're buried deep in our chakratic system along the spine, and those are influencing our sense of reality also. But we have, it's mainly just a pile of crap. Everything we call life, and all our efforts are based on a pile of crap, really. So and there's very little there you could hang your head on. Okay, so that's what we're faced with, and the way out is in. Okay, we have to start going inward and understanding the beauty of the heart resonance, where all the jewels, all the gold, everything valuable is in that heart resonance, and that's where we're going to move to. I reset my brain chemistry as I did those those 5 things I explained to you. I reset the brain chemistry, so I don't suffer from those deep black depressions I used to fall into, which are, how do you, everything I've just explained to you. How do you move forward with that crap into life? Trying to handle life, especially me walking out of my house and what a dime. I had a few $100s, but it's not an easy thing to do. It really isn't. I don't know how I made it, to tell you the truth. But that's what, that's why I'm fed up with hardness. Moving forward, forget the hardness. We're going to do it in love. We're going to do it in pleasure. We're going to do it in ease, basically, because become a member of the flow. I have found that as I did these exercises, I found if you focus a little bit more, a little more attentive, a little more intentioned, as I did all those exercises, the swimming and the energization and the Sudarshan Kriya, I found that you use less effort, not more. Okay, less effort. Why? Because I think my theory is that you're more in the present moment when you decide to do things with a little bit more flair, a little bit more intention, and a little more attentiveness. You're more pulled into the moment, and the more you're pulled into the moment, the less sense of effort really takes hold. For some odd reason, you'd think, gee, that's not right, Jeff. I mean, you're doing things more, and you find them less effortful. Yes, I'm telling you, yes, you do. I do. I found that, especially as I do Sudarshan Kriya and the energization exercises, as you focus more intention, attentiveness, it is easier. It's easier to do that. So that's interesting thing to behold that really. I found that we were in a mess. Even in my early 20s, I was talking to therapists when I did a little bit of therapy, and I said, look, we're politically free here in America, but we are still all walking around in a form of prison. And that's not good enough anymore. That's not what the destiny of the human race is, to be imprisoned. So it was just an interesting thing to note that we think of ourselves as politically free here in America. Other places too are free. Here we do a very, very good job at that. But we're still prisoners, okay? We are still prisoners. So that's the next great avenue out of freedom. Total freedom isn't, you can't be a prisoner of their mind and think of total freedom, the place we're going to, in this unity consciousness, the sense of unity consciousness where life's going to be a lot more forgiving and a lot better. And what I think this too, no matter what you accomplish in this 3D world, no matter how you want to focus and to achieve your goals, which is a noble thing and something we should do. That develops character. Okay, there's no question about that. We should be doing that. But if I've just seen a lot of people do good thing or live a life that would, on first glance, would seem to be very for a good life, but if all you remain is an ego mind, if all you remain is a prisoner of that mind, as you get older, all those victories aren't going to really matter much. I've seen enough to know that if you are an ego mind prisoner at the end of your life, you're going to go down. As the ego mind goes down, and you get fearful, you get more constricted, you get static in nature, you lose, you get more irritable. We have all seen it. Look at your parents. Mind, is that what you want to end up as your parent? I love my parents, but you see them drop into crystalline behavior, where they crystallize all their attitudes and beliefs and beingness, and they stop growing. And there's nothing further for them to do but to die, really. And then you get to read. That's the secret. That's the great thing about death. It really is a wonderful thing. We don't think of it that way, but it really is. You get to another chance. Things are over. Really, with most of our parents, at some point, life is over, and it's time to go and to get rebirth. Death is a rebirth, really, and try again. That's what we have to try to get out of, so we don't do that. As I was walking around as a zombie, as a prisoner of this world, of this mind, no sense of authenticity, no sense of genuineness, no sense of sincerity. There's no sense of anything that would be satisfying. It was just, it really was bad, and we're not going to be that anymore. I'm starting to pull myself out of that, and it's starting to get wonderful. Do we need to do everything I've done to get to that place of the heart? No, I'd say probably not. I've done it for my venture, but it may not be true for your venture. So as we keep that in mind as we move forward, I declare the 2020s as the decade of the heart resonance, the decade of the opening heart. Let these words go forth. Let these words penetrate the social consciousness fabric, and understand that this new decade is not the decade of the mind, not the decade of achievement. It's the decade of the heart. Okay, the decade of the heart resonance. That's what the world lacks. That's what's missing in this world. That's the savior of this world. Each of us getting into our heart. Okay, this ends part one of the review. Okay, and I'm gonna have to look at it, and I hope I did a good job, but it's getting to the point where I want it to be 10-12 minutes. That's it. We got part two of the review. I like reviews. I think reviews are very, very valuable. You try to encapsulate what's been gone in a series of 7 videos. I'm trying to get the point across in 10, 12 minutes. And we're going to continue to review this. Steps to review. Every 5 or 6 videos, we're going to have a review. And this is part 1 of the review of the last 7 videos I've done. So we'll end it right here. And remember now, this decade, the 2020 decade, is a decade of the open heart. Decade of the heart resonance. That's what's missing in this world, and that's what the savior of this world is going to be, and it's going to get done here on this channel. I am Jeff Africa. I'm a citizen of Earth, loyal patriot of the United States of America, and I am not afraid. And I've picked these 4: God herself, Jeshua ben Joseph, Paramahansa Yogananda, and Mother Earth. I think the name is Gaia, but I could be wrong about that. Mother Earth. These are the ones that are going to help me get this done. You're going to watch me be a heart-centered being and leave everything I've just told you behind. We don't need that anymore, okay? And we're going to be a heart-centered being, moving forward into life in a brand new way. Heart-centeredness is the beginning of everything, and these 4 are going to help me get there. And it's going to be something to behold. And once you see me do it, you're going to want to do it too. Okay, so so that's it. We're going to end it right here. Thanks for listening, and I hope this review makes sense, because, like I say, my mind is like mashed, and it still is. But I have to, I had to do this. But it's just my mind has been gone lately, and I hope this pulls together. And I just may be confused for a few days here, because that's what they do say happens when you absorb all these new energies. You'll get into areas of confusion. I think maybe that's what's been going on for me recently. So that's it. Signing out, and remember now, the game is afoot. Ever onward, no doubt. Okay, thank you. Bye.